All hello, everyone. Good evening to you. Good afternoon from here and good evening from your end. I hope everyone is fine. If you can hear me loud and clear, you can do a thumbs up or you say hello, hi. Just say something so that I know you're here, okay? Before we get started, just alrighty. So we're live and I'm so happy to be here. Some people might not um, join us on time. So I just want to make sure that I just want to send a quick broadcast to everyone before we get started. Okay, all right. We are live. Please be muted. Please be muted. That's the reason for the announcement. Please be muted. Please. Thank you. If you are not speaking yet, I kindly encourage us to mute. Be muted. At least for a while. It's just temporary. You're not going to be silenced forever. Praise God. It's not a worship session, but I'm so excited to be here, and I appreciate everyone who has joined in. Some people come in late, so I just try to make sure that I send them a message so they don't feel like, she didn't even send us a reminder. And I know that everybody has a good reason not to be here, so that you left something very important that you're doing to even come and listen to me or whatever it is that I have to say. I do not take this honor or this privilege, okay, for granted. Thank you so much. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Just want to make sure I'm leaving no stone unturned. Okay. All right. Who is this girl that is here that wants to talk to you? I want to stop sharing so that I can. Thank you, everyone. Some people take time to join every. Now someone is not muted. Please mute yourself. If you know your voice, your speaker is on, mute yourself. Mute, be muted, please. If you're not muted, you'll be interrupting whatever it is that I'm saying, and you'll make it difficult for people to hear us. I want someone to volunteer in the comment section so you can post instructions or highlight of today's meeting. Mute yourself, please. If you're here and you're not speaking yet, be muted. Please be muted. If you're not speaking yet, mute yourself. I want to be sure everyone is muted. Elizabeth, Promise, are you muted? Please, if you're not speaking, be muted. Mute, please mute yourself if it is not your turn to speak. Some people are not muted. Mute yourself, mute yourself, please, so that we don't interrupt. You see, I think two people are muted. Mr. Bethel, mute yourself. Mute yourself. Put off your microphone. Exactly. So is there anyone else? There's someone here. Elizabeth, Promise, try to mute yourself. Thank you. Well, I believe Elizabeth has gotten the message, but I do not think she's muted yet. I do not think so, but let's hope there will be no interruption from my hand. Everyone is muted except Elizabeth. Let me share my screen. Mute yourself, for God's sake. For the sake of God, mute yourself. If you see anybody that is not muted, can you just send the person a DM? Someone is still interrupting. Oh no, if you want to be in the meeting, please mute yourself. Adewale, mute yourself. Everyone be muted, please. Okay, I believe everyone is muted, at least from what I can see on my screen. If at any point you find anybody joining the meeting and the person is not muted, I strongly encourage you to send a very polite DM. I was actually trying to mute him as many people as I can, but again, I might not see some people on my screen on time. So if you find anybody unmuted, or you see that some people are not muted, or they are joining and they are yet to mute themselves, so that I don't keep repeating myself in the course of the session, try to send them a private message telling them to mute. It is a collective work. So while I am here talking or speaking or answering questions, I would appreciate if someone can nominate himself or herself so that you can follow up with people in the chat room. So that, for instance, if there's someone who has a question, you call my attention to it so I don't keep missing, the messages in the chat. I want somebody else to send DMs to people as they are joining the meeting so that they can be muted. And I also want someone else to coordinate the chat room by making sure that the key points in this session are dropped in the chat room. I do not mind if there are 2-3 people doing it almost at the same time, but the most important thing is let's get this work done. Number one, I want someone to make sure that everyone who is joining is muted. Number two, I want another person to make sure that the key points are being posted in the chat section, okay? As the host, the way this thing is, the Zoom is kind of flexible. So if you mute someone, they can unmute themselves. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So It's not like like I think Google Meets. Once you mute, I'm not sure people can unmute themselves. That's not really an issue, but of course, it makes sense if there's anyone in the room who is willing to take that responsibility. Okay, who will I make a co-host? I'm going to make Dania a Esther. She's been a consistent, yeah, I'm making her a co-host. So I expect that if people are joining, she can, Madam Esther can do the needful by muting people or asking them to mute or sending them messages and all of that. She's the only consistent face that I can see here. So I have chosen her as the head of the muting zone. Mute them, mute people. So let's get into it. My name is Bisola Miriam Obiya. Before now, people will call me Bisola Bisola. I think recently I tell people that call me Bisola Miriam if you want to call my name. So maybe I'm going to do a change of name soon and publish officially so that people can know that I am no longer Bisola, I am Bisola Miriam, because I find it more interesting, more personal when people say Bisola Miriam than when they say Bisola. It's kind of, I want to follow the path of people like Chimamanda Adichie who have compound names. I'm just teasing. So I am left-handed, and I always say that before I say anything else, because many of the things that I can do today, I owe it to the fact that even though some people in my life wanted to change me from using left hand, I thank God for not making it possible. So I am a proud lefty, and if there is any lefty in the house, I see you, I sight you, and there's a special bonus anytime there is a left-hander. And if you are here, you are my birthday mate. I think I can see Ogbonna Chidiogo. She's my birthday mate. So if you want to find the way to my heart, make sure you know a left-hander. Make sure you know someone who is my birthday mate. So I'm already telling you, at least Chidiogo is my birthday mate. If you want to find ways to come and corner me to get special privileges, you better connect with her. And I'm not joking. I'm not trivializing that. I mean, I hold my birthday so specially. And then I also hold the fact that I am left-handed. I put it on my head like it is a national anthem thing. So it's a personal philosophy, actually. I am Nigerian, like many of us here. I'm doing this introduction because there are people here who have never joined this meeting. So if you're in this meeting and you're an old member, or you have like you've been coming on in the past, I'm not doing this introduction to bore you. I'm doing this so that people who have never had this interaction with me will know who they are talking to, or who is listening, who is talking, or who they are interacting with. I am Nigerian, and I say I'm Nigerian before I say I'm from Southwest Nigeria, because I've lived in the major parts of the country. I grew up and spent most of my early years in the north. I lived in Bida, Minna, Niger states. After that, I moved to the Southwest. I grew up in Oshogbo, had my secondary school education there. From there, I moved to the University of Ibadan, where I had my first degree in classics or classical studies, and then I had my second degree in the same area. I didn't want to do the second degree, but when they gave me full scholarship, you know, many of us, when they give us that comfort zone, we just tell ourselves, I die here. So I was enjoying the 25,000 naira per month, and I was there for a while before I picked myself up and said, no, I wanted more. So I'm a jack of all trades. Like before I decided to pin down my niche, I used to do so many things. I mean, you can't be a Nigerian and not do so many things. So I make auto gele. I sew. There's practically nothing I didn't do. I was into selling of sneakers. I could do so many things. As long as it is legitimate, I would do anything to bring money home. And so I kept doing all of those things. Money was still not enough. People will say, you that you're a graduate, you finished with first class, you are busy doing all of those things. Why don't you find a job? And so I wanted to satisfy the people in my life. They said, if I do not wake up and wear skirts and shirts, do my makeup, and say, okay, I'll see you in the evening. For them, it didn't sound like I was working. So for people in my life, they felt that if I don't wake up, brush my teeth, check the time, and be running helter-skelter like the world is going to come to an end, and I'm not working. So because I wanted to fit into the social construct of what working is or should be, me too, I went to look for a job. Even though it was another 30,000 naira job, I found a job. I will wake very early, do all the kurukere, take care of 2 kids. Husband will drop them in school, or sometimes I will carry Okada, put their lunch bags in front, put the 2 boys at the back, me sitting behind them. Sometimes I love to wear nice dresses and nice skirts. My skirt will still tear at the back. My dresses would tear. I had to go through all of this because I needed to satisfy people. They wanted me to wake up early every morning to show that I'm a serious wife or I'm a serious mother. And for them, that was the definition of hard work. Whereas today, a lot of people sit in their house, wake up in the middle of the night or anytime they feel like, and still make a lot of money while sleeping. So I lived in that I grew up with that kind of mindset. And one of the things that made me tell myself that no, I can't keep living this life is the fact that I knew I needed more. And I'm a very stubborn person. Well, they say lefties are stubborn. Maybe it's one of our personal attributes that kind of distinguishes us from other people, but I do not believe that. I think it's a stereotype. But I feel that I needed to be stubborn, and I needed to challenge status quo. And it started when I told myself that, you see, whether they say they will give me PhD or not, because I then applied for a PhD at a different department. In fact, I'd been admitted. I'd been given the program. I'd started the program, but I knew I was just living my life to satisfy people. So I then told myself that I needed to move on. And in moving on, one of the things that I always wanted, even when I was very much younger, was to study abroad. Now, I did not come abroad because I felt that life was completely miserable for me in Nigeria. But I saw that there were things that people like me, a regular girl, regular left-hander who does not know anybody in power, cannot get. So it makes sense for me to chart a new course or to find a path for myself, because I know that that is the struggle many average people have. You're so smart, you're so good, you're so talented, but the system keeps crippling you. And so I wanted to break myself from that chain of oppression, whether it was physical, spiritual, or otherwise. And studying abroad was just a step a step in the right direction. So coming here did not solve all of my life's problem. Let me say that, because some people will think that once I get abroad, my troubles will end. No, it just puts you on a better level. It gives you advantages. It gives you opportunities that you probably may not be able to access because of where you are currently in, or where you are currently as far as the universe is concerned. But just bear this fact in mind. I am here in this meeting to as much as possible, answer your questions, to listen to you, to make this as personal as possible. When I say personal, I want to make sure that I answer everyone's question, no matter how dumb you think that question is, because I do not think that there is any question that is dumb. But before we go on, I want everyone to do 2 things very quickly. If you don't have my phone number, maybe somebody shared this link with you and you're just joining the meeting. I'm going to share my screen. And when I share that screen, I want you to do 3 things. Number 1, save my WhatsApp number. That is the place where you can get my attention, even when I'm so tired, I'm super busy. The second place where you can get my attention is on my YouTube channel. The third place where you can get my attention is on my Instagram. So for the whole of the month of May, I will not be able to do clarity call like I am doing today and that I will do next week. For some of you who are just joining, I'm sorry, the whole of May is going to be very busy, but there are 3 places that you cannot miss me. If you get my number, you can always send me DMs via WhatsApp. If you have my Instagram handle, you can always DM me on Instagram. And if you want to have my best attention during this, my 1 month recession, you can have all of my attention on my YouTube channel. So make sure that you have those three platforms, the links to those three platforms. I'm going to share my screen. So that's it. How do we do this? Now, this is what we do normally. When we have a meeting like this, we try as much as possible to what? Number one, tell you to unmute yourself. So once I call your name, you unmute yourself. Once I unmute you, I would like you to what? Tell us where you're from. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're joining from. And number three, ask your question. Make your question as specific and as direct as possible. Number one, unmute yourself. Number two, once I call your name, unmute yourself. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're joining from. Tell us what your question is and make it as specific as possible. Now, I want to state this clearly. The reason why we always do this clarity session is to be able to attend to the needs of as many people as possible. One. The second reason is because, see, there is this power that comes in fellowship. This is a fellowship for me, and it's not an opportunity for some people to feel that I won't ask my question. Bisola is my friend. I will DM her. She will call me. Yes, I will call you. How about the people who will learn from you if you choose to ask your questions? So you see, let's see this as an opportunity to increase, to share knowledge, to share value. Don't shut up. Don't keep quiet when you feel there's something you can contribute, as long as you have the opportunity to do so. So no one here should feel that, well, I can always talk to her later. Why don't you share here? Because what you will share with me, the answers that I will give you, that will be yours. How about the people who want to learn from whatever question you are going to be asking? So see this as a fellowship, as a collective thing. No one should feel too big or too small to ask or not to ask. Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to start by calling the very first person on the left-hand side. I always start from my left because I told you guys already that I am a lefty for life. So if you're a lefty or you're a lefties advocate or whatever it is you are, we can talk behind the scene. So Oguchukwu is the first person on my screen. I'd like for you to follow the simple rules that I've set here. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening all. Yeah, my name is Oguchukwu. I'm calling from Imo State, West African, eastern part of Nigeria. Right now, I'm in Owerri City. Yeah, thank you, Bisola, for the opportunity to speak out. Yeah, actually, I'm 30 years old. Yeah, I've gotten my first degree with the Imo State Polytechnic, which I'm not yet satisfied with that. And I have a skill which they call scaffolding. And I've always desired to study abroad. This has really been my widest dream in life. I've always wanted that from secondary school.
So what is your question?
My question is this, ma'am. With my OND, can I be able to get admission with any university in Canada? Thank you.
Okay. So you have an OND. It simply would mean that you're going to be applying for an undergraduate program. Okay.
Which will last for how many years?
An undergraduate program typically lasts for 4 years or 3 years, depending on the kind of program you're applying for. And the reason why you have to apply for an undergraduate is because you do not have a complete 4-year degree. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm getting what you're saying.
Does that answer your question? Do you have any other question? And if it is about applying, let me say this quickly. So if you want to apply, I think it's very important that you understand that it is not enough for you to tell yourself that, well, I know the country I want to apply to. Ask yourself, or bear this simple maxim in mind, that funding is king over country. When I say funding is king over country, I have had people who in the past will say, well, I want to study abroad, but it's Canada, or it is US or no other place. Now, it is important that you have preference, but rather than focus on preference or tell yourself that you would only focus on Canada or you only focus on USA, remember, funding is king over country, because once you get a fully funded in USA, go to US. Once you get a fully funded in Canada, go to Canada. Because once you enter the system, you have a better advantage to get into your top choice country or your best choice country or your more preferred or most preferred choice. Does that make sense? So now how do you then apply? Number one, I believe that you have an OND result, right? Oguchukwu Ebuka. Are you still with us?
I do. Yeah,
you also have your high school certificate or your high school transcripts?
Yeah, I don't think I have my transcripts at the moment.
Now, when I say transcript, I'm talking about your secondary school results.
Sure, they're all intact.
Good. And your OND result, do you have your OND results?
Yeah, I do.
So now you need a combination of both to apply. If you say you have question, I will answer your question. Whoever is typing in the chat box, I will call based on the way the names are appearing on my screen. So please be patient. And if you're not speaking, unmute yourself, please. Thank you. So I think I have answered your question, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
So the next thing you need to do, if I were you, I would do these three things that I've shared, Mr. Ebuka. Number one, if I were you, I will save Bisola's number. If you have it already, what did you say?
I've already done that. I have your number.
Go and subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, because we had a session few weeks ago where I kind of broke down the steps for applying. So what is the first thing? You have transcripts. There are several things you will still need to do in addition to your transcript. So if this meeting is just 60 minutes, how about you going to that channel where I have done a 2-hour session before with a group of people where I actually broke down the steps from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what do you need to do right now? Number one is what? Go to the YouTube channel right now and just subscribe to that channel and begin to get yourself used to the content there. Number two is I would encourage you to what? Also go and follow me on YouTube, on Instagram, because there is a book I would like for you to have free access to. And I have pinned it in the chat room, in my Instagram chat room. So if you go there right now, even later, if you go there right now, just drop me a message. As soon as I come back or I get to my DM later today, I will send you the link to download that free resource, okay? Because for those who are starting out, you need to then ask yourself, what do I then need to do? Because you seem to have some of the things you need to apply with. All right, so let me move on to the next person. So I am going to stop sharing and I will simply just copy and paste. I would copy and paste this handles in the chat room. Okay, just give me 1 second. The second person on my screen is Mr. Biodun Adeboye. Please unmute yourself, tell us your name, tell us where you are joining from, and go straight to your question. Quickly.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. I am
Yes,
Biodun Adeboye. I'm joining from Ijebu-Ode, Nigeria. Let me start by this. I am a graduate of adult education, economics from the University of Ibadan. Also, I had my master's also from the same school in industrial.
What is your question, sir?
My question is this, that my first degree and second degree is in education, but now I want to go for PhD in management. Is it advisable to go directly for PhD in management or to go back to study for a master's before continuing the PhD?
I would advise you do a master's. And you know why it is, I would say master's. You know, a lot of people feel, master's again. Do you know what I'm doing right now? Or by the end of this, my first semester, I am going to be on an expedited program, like a combined kind of MA PhD. I wanted PhD too, because in my mind, I was like, all of my mates are doing PhD. Why will I come and be doing master's again? But when I got in, interestingly, I was not given PhD, I was given master's. So by the end of this, my first semester, I've only spent a few months here. Now, with the results coming from the classes that I've taken, I can then apply for the PhD in my department for fall or as against spring. So if I then combine all of the results, I would be doing two things, getting my master's degree done, and I would also be on the PhD option. So it is something that schools often call expedited or accelerated degree or accelerated PhD. So for you who is at that crossroad where you are like, okay, I don't want to do another master's, do the master's if that is what will take you in. If that is where you will find funding, if the department says they have funding, why will you not even find funding? You can't be around us. You can't be in this clarity call all the time and not find funding, because that's what we talk about all the time. And the strategies, they have always worked. They have always worked. So let's go on to the next person.
Sorry, I still have a question. Sorry, please.
No, you hold on. Okay, if it is a very brief one, ask quickly. Let's make this very
Thank you very
so
much. I applied for PhD in University of Alabama.
I didn't hear that.
But I applied for PhD in University of Alabama.
What department?
So what
is the problem? What is the challenge you're having?
I sent the student ID.
I didn't get that.
Then, I've been given the student ID. In order to
student ID does not mean you have been admitted, though.
Yes. But since then, I've not gotten any information again.
Did you apply? Did you submit the application?
Yes, I applied. I submitted the application.
Maybe you were not given admission. For how long? Since when?
Like 3 months ago.
It doesn't take that long. Did you connect with the department?
To the department, yes.
Yes or no? Don't beat about the bush, sir. Did you?
But I have not gotten advice, but because why?
No, you don't even need to get advice. Or wait, did you send specific email to the head of the department or to someone in the department?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Then you have done the right, like with all that you have learned in our network. Plus, I know you, sir. You've been in our inner circle before. You shouldn't be making these mistakes. Did you pay application fee? No. Did you possibly get waiver?
Yes, I got
waiver. Now, can I tell you something? A lot of people jump at the fact that when a school says they have application fee waiver, they want to send in an application quick. That a school is giving you waiver. If you are not strategic, you don't connect with the right people, you will send in those applications, but you may never get admitted. And it is not a curse. Wow. Now, even if you then get admitted, it is the admission unit's job is to admit you. The unit where you actually get the decisions about funding is the department, not the admission unit. So I feel that a lot of us, we don't arrange our priorities in a way that is so simple. It might take longer time, but it is the most effective way to go about this whole process. When I say the most effective, I mean it, and I mean it really, because there is no point going to submit application because simply they said the school has waiver. The most important thing is to build a relationship with someone. Like I'm telling you all to do what? Connect with me. Connecting with me means save my WhatsApp number. Don't just save the number and then you're just adding me to your WhatsApp contact list for adding sake. There is no point in our connection if we are not going to be helping each other to achieve our life goals. You can't be in my circle and be the same. And if you are in my cycle or my circle, not cycle, if you're in my circle and you're not able to get a fully funded, I don't think there is any spiritual force behind that. I think you are probably not done what we have shared in our inner circle if you've been in the inner circle before. Or perhaps you are not, even if you don't want to pay, how about the free resources that we've made available? I have said to people, number one, no, I'm not talking to you yet, sir. I'm trying to say this generally. I will still conclude. I'm still going to wrap up our conversation. So the next thing that I'm going to say is, number one, save my phone number. Number two, go to our YouTube channel. Things have changed on that YouTube channel. Go to www.youtube.com/Bisola Mariam Obiyan. Go to YouTube right now and subscribe. You don't want to miss the very, very informative, details that I have shared on that channel even in the past. Number 3, there is a free book I want you all to get. So if we finish this meeting or you are disconnected at any point, number 3, go and follow me on Instagram, Bisola_SDG10. If you follow me on Instagram, send me a DM. I will send you a link to download that free guide. Whether you were in our inner circle before, whether you're just joining, or whether this is your first time, do these 3 things and you will be moving closer and closer to getting your goal achieved. All right, so Mr. Abiodun, any last thought, any final thought before I move on to the next person?
Let me give others opportunity so that we can be.
Thank you so much. God bless you. You're a leader.
You're
So the next person on my screen is, okay, 2 people are raising their hands. Before I go to them, let me look at those who have been here before they even decided to raise their hands. So I have Ekpeong Elizabeth. Can you unmute yourself? Tell us your name. Tell us where you're joining from. Mr. Sonny, please hold on. I'm coming to you. And there is Mr. Lumide Abiola. You are next, sir. Ekpeong, she's not ready. Mr. Lumide, can you unmute yourself?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome, and thank you for making it.
Thank you so much. I actually applied for a master program in forensic.
You didn't tell us your name. You didn't tell us where you're joining from and your question specifically.
Okay. I'm Abiola Lumide. I'm joining from Nigeria, Ibadan, Southwest of Nigeria. Okay. My question is, I want to relocate with my family.
Okay.
And I felt going through school will be the easiest and the perfect way, not the one I will go to a place and I will be
running up and down.
Running up and down. I want to go in a legal way. Mm-hmm. So now I've actually applied to UK school.
So what is the challenge? I want you to tell me the problem. Don't tell me the story.
Okay. The challenge is the funding aspect.
Okay. So how do I go about it? Good.
Yes. How do I go about it? That's the only question. How do I go about it? That
thank you. The reason why I want us to be very brief is because, you know, we have others who have questions to ask. Thank you. I appreciate that you took time to join, despite that we're supposed to get on a phone call and I could not, you know, a lot of things are happening around me and I have deadlines to meet. So, but this is something that I always make sure I make myself available for. So to answer your question very specifically, Mr. Lumide, I do not know. Now, when I started applying myself, I started with schools in the UK. I started with the government-specific opportunities because there are a lot of them in the UK. Talk of Chevening, Commonwealth, and the rest. I applied to all those, but I wasn't getting in. I will not say that I am dumb or I know nothing, but I feel that maybe my application story does not connect with the interest of these bodies, at least as at the time I was aiming for those opportunities. So what I will say now is, considering that challenge I had, I want to tell you that when I changed my strategy, I began to focus on USA and Canadian schools. I started with Canadian schools because of the post-study or the, you know, the promising, the juicy opportunities in Canada. We all know those juicy opportunities. You can leave, you can become a citizen faster than fast, and all of that, you know. But I feel that what is very important is for me to get a fully funded. And I know there are 2 places where you can get this done. You can get it in Canada, you can get it in the USA. So when I started applying, I was open to both countries. So I'm sharing this story so that I can actually answer your question directly. So eventually I realized that the funding came from a US university. So now what did I do that got me fully funded? So that after applying to UK schools with lots of admission decisions and some of these admission letters being mailed to my apartment without funding, what did I do that got me funded? Now, I thought that because I read classics I was going to be getting a fully funded from some schools in Canada that I was in touch with, and they were giving me good feedbacks. So I applied to a lot of Canadian schools with the mind to study another degree in classics, more like a continuum or a continuation of what I studied before. But I got good feedbacks, but they didn't have funding for me because they were not interested in funding an international student as at that time. So the other degree that I didn't even have background in, communication, I got admitted for it. So I'm saying all of those things so that some people will think that they need to be applying to one particular degree before they can actually get fully funded, or because they did not study a particular degree, that is why they are not getting fully funded. But what actually broke this, or all of this, patterns for me, or what changed the paradigm, was connecting with specific schools with funding. So if you go online, you can do Google search and search for schools with fully funded options. These opportunities come in form of fellowships or assistantships. So fellowships are opportunities that you get that you don't even have to work for. You'll be schooling, no, you'll be collecting money. You won't do anything. Now, assistantships are scholarships that you would get that would offer you tuition waiver, that is zero tuition, and you would also work and get paid. So the work experience, I think, is very good, because if you get a fellowship or some kind of fellowship, you cannot work. And if you cannot work, you can't get a social security number or a social identification number. I think it is different. They don't have the same name, but the purpose of that identification number is for you to be able to build your credit score or your financial portfolio in that country. So I always recommend for people who are coming in, people who are coming from Africa or developing countries, I recommend that they come in with assistantship-based opportunities. And when you get this assistantship-based position, you are paying no school fees. They are not loaning you. You won't have to pay back. I hope that makes sense. Does that answer your question, Mr. Olumide? So now, where are those schools? Yes. Where are those schools? They are on the internet. If you have the time and the data to do the vigorous search, you will find them online. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll find some very, very quick hacks in my past videos. I recorded plenty of videos in Nigeria before I came here. At that time, I had been denied visa. I was not even sure whether I would ever come abroad, but I kept this path and I kept pushing, I kept doing the work. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you will see some very amazing videos that you can begin to watch right now. So in one of the videos, there is a trick on how to identify these schools online. That's about that. But if you feel that, okay, I don't want to spend data, my data, I don't even have the time to keep digging and digging. Or perhaps you want to get in very fast, because if you do this search yourself, you will get the results as long as you have faith. But you will spend more time because, one, you are not experienced as I am. But if you take my book, for instance, or my online course that gives you free access to my book, or you say, okay, it is mentorship that I want with you, Bisola. Mentorship means that, when I'm away from everybody in the month of May, when I'm doing my private, I'm doing some personal training in May, I will still have that private time for those who join the mentorship program. And I'm not taking more than 5 people. I mean, I cannot come and do what I cannot promise, or I cannot afford to get more people on board and not be able to give them the result they need in 6 weeks. So depending on where you are, whether you feel that, okay, I want to do this in the long term. If it is a long-term goal, it makes sense. In the long term, that means that you're not thinking of 6 months or 1 year. It means that you're just gathering this knowledge, this information to do it in a long, maybe in 2 years or 3 years. It's still fine. But if you belong to the 2 years or 3 years group, this is what I want to say. And I'm not saying this to everyone. I'm saying it to those who feel that because of the difficulties right now or the challenges they have, they cannot get a book. They can't even start yet. But they want to be close to someone who can help them move forward in this journey of life. This is my promise to you. Get on the Study Abroad Challenge. What is the Study Abroad Challenge? So it is a 5-day webinar on a private Zoom call that will be streamed on a private Facebook group that would include me and 4 other speakers from different parts of the world joining me live for 5 days. 5 days leading to May 31st, which is of course my birthday. In this private group, these scholars will be sharing the truth, the realities, and how they were able to access different fully funded scholarship opportunities, and now they are all abroad, okay? And there is also an international citizen in that webinar that will be coming to that webinar. Now, why am I telling you to do this if you are in the long-term group? If you're in the long-term group, does not mean that you should not be around people who would help you achieve your dream. So if yours is a long-term goal, be around those who have gotten the results that you want in 5 years. Because that 5 years dream, before you know it, that 5 years is already here. So if you want to join the group of people who would get this results in the long term, not 12 months, not 6 months, but somewhere around 2 years, 3 years, join this challenge. You're going to be joining the challenge and pay for it for once. How much is the challenge? It is just 3,000 naira. If you join the challenge, you're getting 5 days of value and you're going to be listening and connecting with 5 amazing scholars from different parts of the world. There's an Indonesian, there's a Nigerian, there's a Ghanaian, there's Bisola on board, and there is someone who is also a foreign citizen. And the interesting thing about joining the challenge is you belong to our private Facebook group of those who we will support in the long run. So the meaning is, we know that for you, it is a 5-year plan, or it is a 3-year plan, or 2-year plan. But if you get the right words, the right energy, the right vibe, you will be gravitating towards that dream even in the next 5 years exactly. But if you don't get the right energy around you, that 5-year dream might never come true. And for me, giving birth, parenting, living, like before I actually got myself together, I was going around in circles too, because I didn't have the right energy around me. So I want you who wants to do this in the long term to join the Study Abroad Challenge. How much is the challenge? It's just 3,000 naira to sign up. And of course, I already told you all that you're going to learn in the challenge. So if you want to join the challenge, I'm going to drop a link in the chat box while we take other questions. So if you want the challenge, just drop a comment and say, I want the challenge. I am not planning to study abroad by January of 2022, or I am not planning to leave my country by December of 2021. I am doing this in the long term. Drop a comment and say, I want the challenge. So let me take the question. Let me take another person. I am not checking the chat questions yet. So if you have a question, please raise your hand so that I can call you. I've answered Mr. Lumide's question. Let me answer Adewale Gbeminiyi. Please unmute yourself. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're joining from. Mr. Gbeminiyi is not here, so let's go to Mr. Sonny. Mr. Sonny Lukman. Tell us your name, tell us where you're joining from, and ask your question directly.
Yeah, good evening. I'm Sonny Lukman. I'm joining from Ilori.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a first class graduate of biochemistry.
Awesome. Have you done the 3 things that I asked everyone to do?
Yeah, I think I'll be doing that after.
Okay, go on. Ask your question.
Okay, my first question goes thus. All the English proficiency exams, are they not needed? Are they not
It depends on the school, right? Is that the only question?
No, I still have more. Like the scholarship issue, like how do I get access to funding? I think that has been my problem. And,
did you listen to my answer, my response to Mr. Lumide? Did you listen to my response?
I didn't get the explanation well.
You didn't get what?
I didn't get the explanation well. Like
why? How? What did you get? I want you to be very specific. What did you not get in the explanation?
Like how do I get access to funding?
I already explained two things. I said there are two ways to get funded. I said, one, identify fellowships or assistantship-based opportunities. And I also said that if you go to Google, for instance, you can begin to do the search yourself. And I said that if you feel that you probably do not have money to buy a book, I would recommend that you use the YouTube channel. It is a free resource, okay? I'm going to also say something as I'm trying to type so that I can respond to the last point you made. Your last question, actually. Hold on. The next thing I'll just say is, oh, yes, you have a degree already. You need to what? First of all, identify what your application story is. What do I want to apply for? Why am I applying for this? That's not even as important as first clarifying, Mr. Sonny, do you want to apply in the next 6 months to 1 year?
Yeah, sure, sure.
So now, if the answer is yes and sure, then you should actually define your timeline. So what are you going to be doing in the next 6 months? That's the how. So the how to apply is in you first saying, okay, number one, I have my application story. Number two, be based on my application story. I know the course that I want to apply for. And so because I know what my application story, I haven't watched a free video on my channel, which explains to you what an application story is. How do you describe it? How do you carve it? How do you come up with it? The strategies are so simple and straightforward, but it is not something that we can explain in detail here. But just a quick one, in defining your application story, you need a personal story, you need a communal story, you need a global story. Personally, why do you want to apply for what you are applying, what you are telling yourself you want to apply for? Am I applying because, okay, I already did a first degree before, I shall want to continue, I already have a master's degree before, I feel that a PhD in that degree is what I need. Is it aligning with your 5 to 10 year goal or your 3 to 4, 5 years dream of where you want to be? So again, it still boils down to you clearly defining why you want to choose that program. So maybe you have identified that, okay, there's something that you're so passionate about. Everyone has a passion, everyone has an interest area. Your passion might be coming from the fact that you have been a victim of unemployment, and then you're interested in the waste to wealth ideology. And so because you've done certain things in the past that you have created from waste produce, and because you have created these things from waste, I mean, when I talk about waste, I'm talking about, empty plastics like this, papers, waste products. And you've created certain things, and then people are like, wow, this is so beautiful. This is amazing. The root of your application story might come from doing that small thing. Maybe you've been doing it for fun. Then you need to now package it and say, okay, what application story can I come up from this? So your application story might come from the fact that you have identified that your personal story is, oh, you were jobless, you didn't get a job despite coming out with a first class, a second class, a good degree. And then you went on to now identify that joblessness is not just about you. You are not the cause of the problem. It's a communal problem. So communally, is it a problem in your community? Yes, if it is, then the next thing you want to identify is what is the global story? Globally, is this connecting to any of the sustainable development goals? That is the first step to actually defining what you want to apply for. Once you clarify these three things, you are not putting a course in your head. You're trying to unravel the mystery behind why you are applying for what you're applying for. Once you do all of those things, it takes you to the next step. What is the next step? You are clear. You are so clear about who you should be connecting with, so that when you're emailing advisors or potential advisors, as the case may be, whether for an undergraduate degree or master's or whatever, let me tell you, there are schools with advisors who have funding, who have their own money, who, if they know that you're very competitive and you're very smart, I'm not talking about being bookish. I'm talking about if you can articulate your plans very well. Even if your interest is an undergraduate degree, some universities, some instructors will make money available to fund you and let you come so that you can come and add value to what he or she is doing. So it takes you to sit down, ask yourself, am I so clear about what I want to do? I said already that I cannot talk about all of this in detail right now. So if you're thinking that you want this in the next 6 months to 1 year, the first step is go and subscribe to my YouTube channel and start watching the videos right now. Number 2, follow me on Instagram so that I can send you a free download via DM. If you get the link to the free download, at least you're going from knowing nothing to knowing, more. Now, when you then look at everything and you feel that, okay, you want to get started in the next 6 months to 12 months, then that means that you may be lucky to get on board in my inner circle. Because by the time I shot my clarity call for the month and I'm away in the month of May, I would definitely still create time for those in our inner circle. So if you want this to actually happen for you, the first thing is not to hurriedly buy my book. The first step is watch those contents, get the free resource, and clarify why you want to apply. Because being in my inner circle is not automatic. It is not because you buy my book that you join automatically. I am careful about those who want to be in our circle. We want those who are intentional. Those who by January of 2022 will call me and say, I'm at the airport. Can you pick me up? Can you send somebody who can pick me up? Or someone that I can connect with virtually if, of course, the person is going to a country that I am not in. I hope this makes sense to you. So let me go on to the next person.
I really appreciate it.
I have Madam Ibukun Olayokun. Madam, my boss. Okay, let me answer a question, then we'll go on to the next person. So for you who is watching on Facebook Live, I'm ending this video right now so that you can stream. If you're not following our page, go and watch the stream on our page. So I'm ending this video on my personal timeline. Okay. So Madam, Mr. Sonny, please mute yourself. So that... Yes, sis. What is your question, sir? Okay.
Okay, my question is about my chances of getting admitted.
Okay.
For a PhD.
Okay.
The schools I have checked personally, majority of them have funding for all PhD students, but they admit, I think, few. Some schools will say they admit just 6 students every year. Okay. Now, I believe the competition will be so high. So what is your advice about my chances of getting admitted? Is it about who are some schools highly competitive than the other? I just need to know.
Okay, so can I answer that?
And ma'am.
Okay, so my response is, I always tell people that if you're applying to schools or you want to apply, don't apply to one school or don't apply to 2 schools. Apply to as many as possible. Now, let me explain what I mean by apply. Applying does not mean that you're sending out the application the day you see a school that has funding. No. Applying simply means that, okay, you begin the journey, which is sending letters of introduction. So the first key strategy is to prospect as many schools as possible. When I say prospecting, I'm talking sales language because, for instance, if I want to sell a product to somebody, maybe by the end of the month, I want to have 100,000 sales or 100,000 naira. I should not be talking to one person if definitely I want to hit that target. So if my target is to sell one product, maybe this bottle, 10,000 naira or $10 per one, $10 per item, maybe I want to make $100. I should not be talking to 1 or 2 people because I cannot hit my target that way. So if, for instance, I need to sell 10, I still don't have to talk to 10. I need to talk to like 100% of the 10. What is 100% of 10? That's 100. So the meaning is, if for those of us who want to apply, the strategy is still the same. It means that when we decide that we want to start connecting with schools, we would need to write as many or tweak one letter of introduction and reproduce several templates and send to as many schools, as many potential advisors as possible. Yes, they don't admit so many people, but you see, these schools, there are plenty. There are several of them. So we're not supposed to be saying that, oh, I've seen 2, I'm going to be working with 2. No, especially that it's not automatic that they will give you. So, but if you have a long list, you increase your chances of getting in. And at the end of the day, you see that you have about 3, 4, 5 schools giving you funding at the same time. It is not magic, and it is not because you are better than some people, but because you know the way. And they say, na person who sabi way, na sabi o. Like, it is the person who knows strategies, and life does not happen by chance. It is for those who know what works. So it's not just about I know the concern is genuine, and my response specifically is increase your list. Even though they say it's competitive, if it is competitive, you still get in. Why? One of the advantages that we have as people from developing countries is an advantage, and this advantage is the fact that many of these schools want a diverse, they want a diverse cohort. Diverse, they're looking for people from different parts of the world to build their cohort. They want a situation whereby when people say, oh, do you have is diversity the thing in your school? Some schools get ranking. They are ranked, or they are given high ranking because they have a diverse academic cohort, or they have a diverse group of students in their program. So our advantage here is to connect with as many schools as possible. And how do you do that? Number one, you can dig out information using your online. If you feel this is something you want to do by yourself, because we are different people. Some people are super smart and they just need someone to ignite that fire, and then they're good to go, they start burning. But if you feel that you want to work closely with somebody that would give you the support that you need part-time, then you would want to get either my book. How much is the book? $30. $35 now. And if you want the online course is $120. But with the online course, you get access to 8 videos. You also get access to a free access to the $35 worth book. Now, the mentorship program is not something that is always open, but it's going to be opening in May. Now, I have started taking people for the mentorship, but I'm not working with more than 5 people. How much is the mentorship? It is $500. I mean, nothing less than $500 for the mentorship. And for those who are in this meeting, if you take the book offer today, so instead of paying $35, you can pay $30 for the book today. If you want the online course, instead of paying $120, you can actually pay $110 today. Now, why that $10? Because the payment platform that we're using will charge us, and definitely so that you can always have access to the video content, we have decided to host it on a third-party website. So we are also paying for that subscription. Yeah, we are also paying tax. That's just the meaning. So that's why you have to pay the extra $10. I hope that makes sense. So let me take another question. I will share my screen on one side so that if at any point some people are disconnected, they can pre-order my book or my online course or my mentorship program, whichever one they want. If you want the mentorship program, you can pay twice. So the mentorship program, like I said, is $500. And I am going to be working very closely with you. Like, it is going to be weekly for 6 weeks. And there is no way you can get your results. If you buy my product, you get my book, or you get anything from me, and you don't get your results, come back and you get your money back. Yes, and that's the truth. Except if you are now the one that deliberately did not do anything, then definitely there will be no refund. But if I'm following up with you and I see that you're making progress, you will make progress. There's no way you won't make progress. The next person on my screen is, I'm going to call my birthday mate after the next person on my screen. The next person on my screen is Adewale Gbeminiyi. I called you before, but you didn't respond. So let's see if Adewale Gbeminiyi is here. Are you there? Adewale Gbeminiyi, please unmute yourself and ask your question quickly. She's not, is she here?
Hello. Hello, yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, now go on.
Okay. My question
your name, tell us your name, tell us where you're joining from, and go straight to your question, sir.
Okay, my name is Adewale Gbeminiyi. I'm speaking with you from Lagos State Southwest.
Okay, your question?
Okay, my question is this. I want to ask, how will I be able to get fully funded scholarship, and
did you listen to my response to that question?
No.
Mr. Adewale, did you listen to my response?
No, I didn't. Maybe
have you been here?
Maybe I've not joined you that time.
Huh?
Maybe I've not joined you that time.
No, you've been here. At least I've seen you on the screen since. I've answered that question already. Is there any other question you have?
Okay, my another question is that. Hello?
I'm with you. I can hear you.
Okay. My question is also my second question is this: if I'm to get a fully funded program,
okay,
my school doesn't give transcript direct by hand; they only send it to schools. Okay. So how will I work on this in order for me to?
Good question. So number one question that I think I have not answered today is the question that you asked about the transcript. So for those in our inner circle, I also share this strategy with them, which is it is possible that you're in a school or you finish from a school that will not release by hand. The strategy to employ is to get someone in the country that you're resident or that is close to you, not someone who has your name, or someone who has a structured organization, maybe an office or a business or a firm that has an address, or maybe a professor in a different university. Now, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be requesting that your employer or somebody needs it to review your employment application. So the person would actually be applying or requesting for your official transcript on your behalf. When the person requests for it, based on the relationship you have with the person can make it available to you. I mean, the scanned copy or the copy itself, so that you can use it to send applications to schools. So now let me explain that again. There are different schools in Africa. Some schools would release student copy transcripts. So what is a student copy? They give you a copy that, and then they allow for, I mean, they make a copy available to you and you can use this to submit your application. So when you are in the admission or application phase, you do not need an official transcript. I hope that makes sense. When you are in the application stage, you do not need what? Someone should type what you don't need. You do not need official transcript. Someone should type that. You do not need official transcripts when you are in the networking stage or in the prospecting stage or even in the actual submission of application stage, except for a few schools that will require or request that you submit official copy. Now, when you have been admitted and given funding and you have decided to go to the school, that is the point when most schools will request that you submit official. So if you are not from a school that will not release anyone, the strategy to employ is to get your school to send it to an address in Nigeria. They also mail transcript to foreign and local addresses, or for either foreign or local address. But the only way your school would decide to send to a local or a foreign address is when they know that there's a request coming from an individual, an organization, or an establishment. And you must identify someone that you're close to who has an organization that can request a copy or send you or give you a request letter that is official, that you can take to your university so that they can make it available, especially that at least you have not connected with any school abroad. And no university abroad would want to be involved in your transcript issue until you have been admitted. I hope this answers your question. If at any point in time you feel that maybe the message in today's session has been lost or you feel that you're a little confused, I would recommend that you watch the replay of this session. Where will you find the replay? It is on the YouTube channel. So if you're not on the YouTube channel, how do you get to follow it? That's why you should subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's just www.bisolo.com www.youtube.com/Bisola Mariam Obiyan. You'll find it there. So let's go on to the next thing. Is there any other person? Before I take any other person, let me take my birthday mates. Then Madam Oluwaseun Abutu, there's Madam Maureen. I think I know Madam Maureen, and I've answered her questions in the past. But if she has anyone, definitely will still answer. Let's go on to the next person. My birthday mates. Okay, Madam Ogbona Chidiogo, do you have any specific question that I have not answered today? And then there's Melody, there's Elizabeth, there's Larry Busari, Joseph. Okay, I've never met Larry, so please don't go anywhere. There's Oluwatoyin, there's Joseph F. Young. These are names that these are people that I've not met, and I'd like to address their questions too. So please don't go anywhere. Let me have my birthday mates in the room.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening.
Hey, birthday mate. Let's not make people feel like, what's wrong with these people? Okay, let me take your questions, sis. You look good.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. My name is Ogbona Chidiogo. I'm calling from Port Harcourt, River State. Yeah, you've answered most of my questions anyway, so I don't have more to ask, yes.
Okay. And I thought there was another question on profiting in millions. I remember you also messaged me about.
Yes. We weren't talking about it. Well, if you can shed more light on that, I would like it.
Okay. Is there anything you're thinking of specifically with regards to that, or you just want me to talk generally about that?
Generally, please. I don't have any.
Okay, so generally, to address that question, I would say that my decision or my plan to become a profit in millions person, or like to tell myself that I want to start profiting in millions, it started when I chose to move my brand online and become visible. And how did I do that? I mean, I knew so much about studying abroad already. I was doing some caricature, Zoom, WhatsApp training of 1, 2, 3 people. I was doing everything, okay? Now, before I did that, I was doing autogele. I was sewing. At a point, I was also there was nothing I wasn't doing. I was also selling sneakers and all of that. But I realized that I was doing so much work. I will sew, they will still pay me small money. I will sell sneakers. Somebody will be telling me the shoe did not do something or that they have not got it. And the person who I was working with, who was sending the shoes for me to sell, was really giving me trouble because the person was not bringing them on time. So all of these troubles were just so much. And then I said, okay, if I didn't have shoes to sell, there was no way people would buy. If I don't sew, there is no way people would actually say, okay, they want to actually pay me money. And then I attended a training with Emeka Nobis, and this training was just changed my course, actually. I already knew a few things that I could do with my time or that I could make money from, but I didn't have clarity. So what did I learn? I learned that it was possible for me to share what I know so well. I mean, I know how to talk before. I know how to write before. People will say, Mrs. Obiyan, please edit this article for me. I was doing it for free. People will say, we want you to speak at our program. I will go and speak for free. The cash donation, the cash gift that they are supposed to give me, they will give me check. They will not give me my money. And so I was doing so many things already that was pointing to the fact that I could actually earn profitably from my knowledge, but I didn't just know how to position myself. And so it started by me asking myself, where do I want to pin myself? Like, what niche do I want to position myself? I saw that the things I can make money from are already inside of me. I didn't have to start doing the wahala of sewing or all those wahala of sewing and using the sewing machine. And then you will sew for some people, they won't even pay you because they feel that they are too big and they can afford to owe you. But with the system that I've created, sorry, you can't owe me, except I choose for you to owe me. And so that was just all that changed. Now, for you, my birthday mates, or for anyone who is interested in this particular content that I'm sharing, and I feel it is very important because even as scholars, You can't get into the abroad and feel that, hey, let me not come and be sleeping and snoring, because one, you are on a fully funded program. You will still need to earn money from what you believe you already know so easily. That will not cost you anything. If you put the content out, or you write a book out of it, or you create an online course out of it. Me talking about my book, my online course, all of those things, they are things that I've done already, and they keep bringing me money. I don't have to keep creating them. If I don't use a sewing machine today, I don't have to wait on a sewing machine before I can eat. All of those content are available, and they are solving problems for people. So for someone who is starting out, I would recommend that you join the wait list for the Profit in Millions challenge. There's a Profit in Millions challenge that is coming up. And so there's a wait list for that. The wait list is free, so you don't have to pay to join the wait list. And then after joining the wait list, you get to learn more, and then you get to learn more and get to learn more. Most of the things that I do with my brand, this study abroad thing, I did not know them before. But because I now do them, I have mastered these skills, and I can teach anybody these skills. Right now, people are paying me from outside. Now, I'm in the US. I actually thought that the only money that I will ever make will come from Nigeria. But there's someone in the US someone in another country, UK actually, who bought my online course a few days ago. Now, she's in the UK. Would you ever think that I think that people that should be buying my stuff are Nigerians? But she's in the abroad already. She's not even hungry for abroad, but she bought my course. Now, she bought it because even though she's living in a developed country, she also wants a fully funded scholarship. So I actually then realized from that singular episode that there is someone out there who deserves to be paid for what they know, and that person can be you, and that person is even you. So maybe you already know how to write, you already have some public speaking skill, you already know how to coach people, and then they will tell you that their relationship that was going to break did not break. Or they'll come to you and say, you know how to just inspire somebody because I listened to you or what you shared with me. Now, I don't want to kill myself again. We all are naturally gifted and talented in one way or the other. But the thing is, how are we able to express this gift to so many more people? Because what actually helps us to make more money or lots of money is in expressing this creativity, this talent, this skill to a lot of people. Because it's not just in expressing to one or two, it is in expressing to as many people as possible. Think in conclusion, as I end this particular point so that I can take other questions, I always think of the Suya man. The Suya man knows he has something to share. He does not stay in his house, right? What does the Suya man do? He positions himself, he's visible. Even if you don't want to buy suya, you shall be perceiving the smell of the suya. Oh my God, that suya smells so good. And because you always see him somewhere, because you always perceive the smell, you are attracted to the suya man. And because you are attracted to the suya man, he says to you, oh, madam, will you like to taste? He gives you something for free. And because he says, oh my God, you say you like him, you go buy. And then you eventually buy, and then you buy, and then you keep buying, and then you keep buying, and you never stop buying. And then the suya man keeps making sure that he's upgrading and upgrading and upgrading and upgrading. And then more people are coming. The next time somebody comes to you and says, I'd like to buy suya, you would recommend the suya man across the streets. First, he's visible. Secondly, he knows what he wants to sell. He knows that he can find his market. He knows that if he keeps being out there, keeps remaining visible, it will not be difficult for him to find those who will buy from him. Let me share this last point. I know that I don't want to do plenty work. One of the things you will need to do in order to make more money is for you to believe that there is plenty in the universe. And so I grew up in a family where, as a single parent, a child from a single parent family, my mom would struggle to get things done. And one of the things that I said I want to break is the cycle of believing that if I don't wake up and go to a white collar job, I will not make money. I told myself I was going to break that. I've been buying plenty books lately. I saw that, okay, I bought makeup products. I have not invested in books. One of the things I did today and in the last few weeks was to buy new books. Now, books are even online. There are free books out there. How much of them do you even get to put in your spirit? Because you cannot give what you do not have. People will not buy from you just because you have a fantastic product. You must have a fantastic personality. And so if you're nasty and you're full of yourself, you are not humble, you are not graced, you are not favored spiritually, and the universe does not listen to you, you would only find people who will buy products, but you will not be happy. Because happiness is not just in having plenty money in your bank, but in touching lives. And all of these things are interwoven. So I'm so excited because for those who are joining the Profits in Millions Academy, we're not just going to be doing come and sell, come and learn how to sell. How do you get more money and never stop having more? It is a principle, and it is not by working so hard. May God give us understanding. Oh, let me not start preaching because that's another discourse. But one thing I realized when I came here is that, see, you need to leave a zone before you can enter into another realm. If it takes us leaving the country temporarily, getting the study abroad opportunity first, so that we can at least operate on a realm where there is light, there is water, you don't have to struggle for these things. Then we can now go back home and begin to change the narrative and begin to liberate more people and begin to set free book reading clubs, set free food centers, set up free shopping malls where people can go and pick clothes without paying for it. All of these things, we can do them. These are lofty ideas that I know many people here have, but we can't do them because right now we're still struggling to eat. So we need to break that cycle. And if studying abroad would help us break free from that pattern, let's do it. But we can't study abroad without having some leverage. What do I mean by leverage? You need to have something that people can pay for while you're staying at home or working with your phone. Even if it means starting with WhatsApp. WhatsApp is so easy to use and people will check your status. See, your phone and your data has given you free television. Be showing yourself anyhow, and people who need to see what you have to offer, they will gravitate towards you. And the more you put yourself out there, the more you put value out there, the more you show the gifting and the creativity that God has put inside of you, you would never be broke every other day. I tell you, and that's just the way it is. So you must give something. I mean, there's no one who takes or receives without giving. And you must give with the mind that whether they pay you or not, you will never be hungry. So let's finish this session with this understanding. I know that I'm going to be leaving this meeting with the understanding that whether people in this meeting buy or not, I can't be broke. I can't be hungry, because those who will buy from me might not be those who came for the session live. There might be those who are watching the replay. There might be those who someone in this session will talk to, because the universe listens to me. I'm growing in that realm. And I feel that for anyone who must enter into the Profits in Millions realm, you are not just going to be selling and selling every other day. You must understand how these principles work. Sorry, don't worry, let's end it here. We're not talking study abroad. That's for those who want to join the wait list for the Profits in Millions. We're going to be having a mind-blowing journey together. And before 2020 and 2021 ends, you will cash out big time from that talent, from what God has put inside of you. You will definitely make money from it. So I know that some people are leaving the meeting already. I want to have the last phase of the conversation is for those who feel that they want to, they have questions. So I'm not going to call anybody. I'm just going to say, unmute yourself, fastest finger approach. So if you have a question, unmute yourself and start talking. Tell us your name. Tell us.
Good evening, ma'am.
My name is Melody.
Awesome. Okay, I like that.
My name is Melody.
Okay, my question is,
ma'am. Mr. Biodu, you should be muted because you have talked before.
Hello, Isho.
Madam Sheung.
My name is Melody, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Melody, can you let Madam Sheung go first? You are my personal person. Hold on.
All right,
let Madam Sheung talk, then we have Madam Melody. So Madam Sheung, shoot. Madam Sheung, right here.
Okay.
Madam Sheung, I guess it's network. Don't worry. Let's give her a few seconds to arrange herself.
Can I go ahead?
No, Mr. Abiodun, no. Let's give these people the opportunity.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. That's Madam Tonyo. Madam Sheung, we're listening. We can hear you, Madam Sheung.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can
I'm
hear
sorry,
you.
the network has been showing me.
Just keep talking, keep talking.
Kicking me out and I keep coming back.
Keep talking.
My question borders on relocating with my family, but I heard when you spoke about assistantship in terms of scholarship and all the rest, how one can get into that realm. And then your mentorship class, how long does this cost? How long will it take and how much does it cost?
Okay, now let me address the very first question. The very first question is, how does the scholarship thing work? If you are a family person, which you have just mentioned, how many kids do you have? How many kids?
2 kids.
Okay, so if you have if you have 0 kids, 2 kids, or 3 kids, the 3 kids, as long as they are not up to 18, they can travel with you. If you have a husband, he can travel with you. But it takes planning and strategizing. So in my case, I did not come in with my family because my strategy was floppy at the beginning. So what was floppy about my strategy? I did not, my husband did not apply, number one. He didn't apply to school. And my interview was during the pandemic. And so because I'd gone for a visa interview before where myself and my 2 kids were denied, I had to tell myself that it makes sense to go alone. But if I had gone for the second interview with my husband and 2 kids, we would not have been denied. But because we also did not have financial statement to support my husband and 2 children, we couldn't go as a family. So I had to go alone because I was the one who got funding. So I'm going to share 3 quick strategies with you as a family person. Number 1, which I think is the smartest, is for you and your partner to both apply. So for every school you will apply to, let your husband apply. The reason why I'm saying that is because if both of you are admitted and funded, listen closely. Even if it eventually happens that if you are both admitted and both of you don't enter into the same school, as long as you're both admitted into the same country, both of you can leave the country together. He might be in school in Canada, he might be schooling in Chicago and you are schooling in Tuscaloosa. He might be schooling in Montreal and then you are schooling in another place. As long as you are still within the same country, it is easier for one of you to transfer to the second person's school. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Okay, I'm getting you.
So the first step is both of you can apply. And I already explained how both of you's process can go. If eventually you both apply and one person is admitted to school A and the other person is admitted to school B. But the fact is both of you can aim the same countries so that if you are applying, he is applying, you're both getting funded using the same strategies that I teach. The second thing for you as a family person is if you apply and he does not want to apply, he then needs to provide you, you need to build your accounts, okay? You need to start building your account from the day you decide to apply so that by the time you're going to the embassy, you have your own funding from the school. You need to provide proof of funding for your spouse and every child that would accompany you, as long as those children are not up to 18. The third strategy, that's just the second strategy, actually. The third strategy is that you will go alone and then they will come later. So that's the last one that people like to hear. But of course, some people consider that as the best option, depending on, because if they don't have a financial statement, because don't go and build statement that is false. Use your own account or your partner's account. In fact, use your account. You are the principal applicant. And the principal applicant can be the wife or the husband, depending on who is going on the student status. Every other thing can follow. I might not be able to share more than this. Like I said, follow me on Instagram. Go and follow me. It will not cost anything to follow me. When you follow me, enter my DM, drop a message. I will give you a free downloadable file. The second option is follow my YouTube channel right now. Subscribe. Don't forget to do it. Do it right now that you still have the time. So when you subscribe, there are some videos that I've done in detail about going with family. I know a lot of people don't want to go to school. The good thing about going to school is you're not coming as a parasite. You're coming to build a symbiotic relationship in that country. And if you're coming as someone who is going to school, you are adding value to yourself. Because if you come in, let me tell you, Shebi, you want to shall leave. If you enter, your body will come down. Shebi, my body has come down now. By the time your body come down, you'll be asking yourself, I wish I can be on a fully funded scholarship, going to school, making money, touching your own life and touching the lives of the people you're working for or with, and still enjoying the benefits of the country. But if you migrate back and you go on permanent residence, whichever resident, you'll be bored because one, you're just doing the job. And you before you start putting yourself into that state of applying and going to school, it will take time before you adjust. Why will you have to go through the process of migrating and going as with plenty money, spending lots of money as a migrant, when you can actually go through school and build, like your status eventually settle into the system? It is the same benefits that the person who went to school is enjoying, that the person who came in as a permanent resident would enjoy. It is the same benefit, the same shopping malls, the same hospital, the same clinic that me, a student visa holder, can have access to. It is the same places that the citizens too get to go to. So I hope that makes sense. So again, the strategy is there. Lastly, my mentorship program is running from the last week in May. Sorry, it is running now. The briefing starts middle of May, actually. I'm going to be giving those ones. So we're starting in May, actually. The first 2 weeks, I'm going on a personal journey. So it is nothing is happening on the 1st to the 15th of May. But from the 16th of May, the mentorship program starts. And it will run from May to the end of June. It is a 6-week-long course. Now, even though it is a 6-week-long course where it is private, personalized, weekly, there is still a support group. But my goal is to make sure that for those on the mentorship program, by the end of the 6 weeks, you would have found up to 10 schools that you have connected with, that you are confidently able to apply to. If by the end of the 6 weeks, and with the strategies that we're going to be working with, you don't have that result, then it will only be that you are the one who didn't do some of the things you are supposed to do. And if that is the case, then you are not going to get a refund. But if the fault is from me and you are not able to see the result that I told you would get, then you're going to be getting full refund. That is just it. So how much is it? It is $500 and you can pay twice. You can pay for, your first payment can come before you join, and you can pay the second installment by the end of the 2nd week of your coaching. Does that make sense? It is $500 to sign up. If you want to pay in installments, go and get the early bird fee now, because by the time we open, by May 1st, see that month, I want big things, because I want to buy car, I want to buy phone, I want to buy plenty things. I'm not buying them with my money, definitely. I would get some as gifts, I will buy some with my money. But I'm just saying that my taste will increase, because I'm entering into a new season by the grace of God, and I will not do the mentorship program at $500 a second time by the grace and special grace of God. So if you want in, make sure that you do the needful right now. Send a deposit in or reach out, at least join the wait list and pay a commitment fee. And again, you don't have to join mentorship. I always say this. You don't need a mentorship to get the results that you need. If you feel you cannot afford it, life is too short for us to be having heartache and then feeling like, I'm not on Bisola's mentorship. How will I get funded? It's a lie from the pit of hell. There is someone who joined our support group. He only bought my book. How much is the book? $35. But for you, if you pay today, you pay $30. So the guy bought the book. He has made progress in less than 2 weeks. Guess what? He's sending emails to several schools. And because of the progress he's made, he's sending an application before this month ends as against fall. His own program, they are not even asking him to submit TOEFL and the rest. And that's the interesting thing. There are schools that are waiving this requirement. Why? Because it is one of their strategies for supporting people because of COVID. Many of this insight there, I cannot share everything in one meeting. The knowledge is too much. We can't even finish. We can't. Because, I mean, there's so much to talk about and there's little time and I have to go for fellowship myself. So let me take the last set of people. Melody. I think Madam Melody is next.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Melody. I'm calling from Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah, I know, but maybe they don't know.
Okay, well, I'm so positive right now. Like, I'm glad I didn't miss tonight's session. So glad.
I'm so glad you didn't miss it too. Okay, well.
All right, so let me just let me go straight to my question.
Okay.
So, ma'am, I want you to give me more clarity on tuition waiver and scholarship, the difference between the two.
Tuition waiver would mean that maybe there's an organization that is funding you and they are saying that they are waiving tuition. Tuition waiver might not come with stipend or like a salary scale. Tuition waiver might be that you get a loan from an organization that will pay the tuition that you now pay back. So these are the different examples of tuition waiver, okay? But scholarship here means that you are either getting a government-funded scholarship that will pay everything for you and you will pay nothing. The second scholarship option is that you're getting a fellowship or an assistantship position. Does that make sense? And with the fellowship or assistantship position, you don't have to. So for the fellowship, some fellowships you don't have to work. But I would recommend assistantships because you don't want to come into the system without building that work experience and also getting paid and also getting this free education or the tuition-free education, and all of that. So does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. And the last question I have, ma'am, I don't know if you have, if you like your previous videos, the previous if you gave a step on how to write to this school, like once you found a school or schools that offers this scholarship, like how to write to them.
How to write to them. There is a structure for writing a letter of introduction, and that structure, we can't go into the details. If you go to the YouTube channel, take your time to watch the videos. You know, I cannot always be available to do a call like this. I appreciate you coming and I like to come here to do these sessions, but we can't do it every day. So what do I advise? Go to the YouTube channel, watch the content. Everything there was provided for you. Number one, subscribe. Number two, watch the videos. There is a particular, if you go to the channel, you can even search for content. You can search letter of introduction and you'll see all the past videos that I've done on letter of introduction. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my screen to show you what my book looks like. Hold on, I know you might have another question, so I'm not shutting you up. So while you're still talking, I'm going to be sharing my screen for those who want to do a screenshot. Let them screenshot how they can follow me actually. Then I will share, I'll show you what my video course looks like and what the book looks like for those who haven't seen it before. So Madam Melody, do you have any final questions so that somebody else can unmute and speak?
I'm fine, ma'am.
Okay, good. Is there any other person who has question or questions?
Okay. Thank you very much for the.
You are still there. Okay. Oh yeah, Emma Sorolo.
You know, I can't leave you. You know, I can't leave you now.
Oh yeah, speak.
You know, thank you very much. I was trying to send in some chat, but you know, I've been disturbing you on work. We can work together. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
But finally, I got a person so that.
Who is the person?
Really sorry. That is Jonathan, I think.
From where?
No, he's also on the platform now.
Oh, I don't know if I know the person, no. Is the person in our inner circle?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So this is what I will advise you, Mr. Biodun.
Can you link me with any other person in our inner circle?
I can't just link you with any other person. Are you in our new inner circle? You ran away. So listen, sir, if you want to join the inner circle, because you have bought our product before, I can give you 50% off. That's 50% discount from $30. So you can pay $15. Now, the $15, you're not paying me. You're paying for you to be able to be at par with the new information and the new strategies that we're going to be, that we use. So for instance, you get free access to the recent version of my book. Secondly, you join our WhatsApp group. In the WhatsApp group, I answer question any day, anytime. So for instance, if there's a question from anybody coming into the group, maybe 2 a.m., as long as I can read the chat, I would leave a voice note or type. In the WhatsApp group, everybody has an accountability partner. What you even need more is not just an accountability partner who is not gingered. You need somebody who wants this to happen in the next 6 months or 1 year at most.
That is what I need. 6 months.
So you don't need people who will start, are excited, and then they will drop. Those who are on this support group, they are those who are ready to make it happen in the next 6 months. Every month, we actually remove people. It is not automatic that people will be in the group. Some people will buy a product, they will be there, they will do a little, then they will drop. We put them on the wait list for the next quarter. We make sure that people on the group are those who are ready and proactive. So if, for instance, you decide that you want to be on board, I am more like your accountability partner in this group. And if you are not accountable enough to deliver every month, even though membership fee in the group is just 1,000 naira, depending on whatever product you buy, you just have to renew your membership 1K per month. If you are not doing anything, by the end of the second month, it is not automatic that you'll be in the group. So you need to get it clear. And I feel that rather than reach out to plenty people, get into this, our new accountability group. And most importantly, tell yourself that you want this to happen in 6 months or a year. If you are not ready, don't join. Don't even pay the discounted fee. Hold your money and stay on your lane and just be enjoying the goodness of God. But if you feel that this must happen, you know what to do. Number 1, pay the discounted fee as an old subscriber. Number 2, join the group, all right? Number 3, do what you have to do. Number 4, follow the strategies. Lastly, in the inner circle, we meet once in a month on Zoom, okay? Let me take the last. Is there any other person who has any final thoughts? I want to share some videos for free. If there's anyone who does not have anything to say, maybe I can just go ahead and share that.
Sorry, I don't know if I can.
Is that?
Hello, good evening.
Okay, good evening, sir. Please speak.
Yeah.
Madam Sean, please mute yourself.
Hello, good evening.
Hold on, I'm trying to mute someone. Well, she's not muted. I don't know. Please keep speaking, sir. Sir, you can talk. Are you there, sir?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I tried asking a question if a NECO O-level document is accepted in Canada or US.
For what program? I'm sorry, I wasn't checking the charts.
No problem.
For what?
Any program, if they are widely accepted.
What are you looking for? Don't say any program. At least you know what you want, right? What do you want to apply for?
I'm applying for engineering courses.
Is it an undergraduate degree or a master's or PhD? What exactly are you looking for?
Master's program.
You don't need an OND. They don't need it. They don't. Oh, sorry, they don't need an. They don't need your NECO result. What they would be placing emphasis on, or what they would like to see, would be your graduate degree. which
okay,
is like
but for my wife,
the first
because
degree.
I also want to apply for my wife.
You are just talking.
For
Maybe the question is about your wife, not about you then.
Okay, undergraduate.
If you're
So
applying for an undergraduate program, definitely you will need high school results. And the high school result is what you just referred to, NECO. Definitely they will need it. So I hear you say Canada, but I will tell you the truth. As long as you're not the one paying to go into a country, keep your options open to 2 countries or more.
All right. Okay.
Is there any other question before I share my video?
Yeah. Well, actually, why I asked that question is if NECO is accepted as against WAEC. That's what I wanted to know.
No, I don't think they have preference, Abba. Oh, I think I understand. No, I don't think they have preference.
Oh, okay. All right.
As long as it is an high school result that is recognized, okay, they don't particularly, they will not particularly say, oh, whether it is WAEC you should present or NECO. I mean, no. If the national body, university, whatever university that you're graduating from is a national institution, not an international institution, right? So the NECO result is a national certification. Even though it's not international, it is still recognized. If a national university, you know, can be recognized, how much more a national certification, you know, I'm just saying, but again, I hope this makes sense. So
yeah, of course. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I would like to know those who are in this group, those in the category of I'm not ready to apply yet, I'm applying in the long term, or I want to apply right now. I would like to have that feedback. If you know you are applying in 3 years or 5 years, I would like for you to say, I would like for you to unmute yourself and tell me where you belong. So in no particular order, there is D. Daniel, there's Melody, there's Sonny, there's Mr. Jonathan, and a few other people. I'd like for each person to, okay, let's start with Madam Sheung. Unmute yourself, tell us where you belong. Are you in the long term or short term, or where do you belong? So let's get that straight while I'm still sharing my screen. Are we good? Are you there, ma'am? Okay, Madam Sheung is not here. Mr. Suara, is that Mr. Okay, hello, Madam Sheung is unmuted. Please speak.
It's a short-term goal, so if I have anything in that line, I will appreciate it.
I didn't hear that.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I said it's a short-term goal.
Short term, as
at
in
least
how
maximum
short?
by January next year. Yes.
So what do you want to do? What are the steps you want to take?
Latest by January.
What are the steps you would like to take?
First, by applying. I don't know the processes. I'm just starting out. So,
okay. Would you like to work by yourself, or would you like to be supported?
I suggested I'm going to your page.
I can't hear you.
I don't want to work with you. That's why I asked for that mentoring.
Okay. Did you get the information I shared about the mentorship?
And then we'll start with.
Did you get the update about the mentorship?
No, I didn't. I hope we'll get the replay because I've been on and off.
Okay, okay. I will send you a chat. I'll send you a chat.
Yeah, just a few of them.
You're welcome. Okay, I would. I'll send you a chat right now. I will also leave you a voice note.
Okay.
All right. So this is what the online course looks like, and I'm going to just play something very brief. Oh, sorry. I need to share my sound. You won't hear anything until I share my sound. Sorry, hold on. What's going on here? Oh, hold on. Share sound. If you can hear, just post a chat, like post a message in the chat room. Once I play this,
and my name is Bisola Miriam Obinya. I'm so glad to have you join this session. I'm glad that you have taken this step to begin the journey to a guaranteed scholarship. I just want to assure you that this course is a money-back guarantee course, and I'm not going to blow that trumpet. So as we go on, you will realize yourself. And of course, at a point, there is going to be a call to actually find out whether you've gotten value or not. And if you haven't, you can request for every dime that you have paid for this session. And of course, with everything that we may want to give you withdrawn. Said that, why should you listen to me? I always like to
she says she can't hear.
The reason why I think
is there anyone who can hear?
Because
a
lot of times there are
she can hear.
Who are into this study abroad endeavor. And so when they go about trying,
can you hear? Can you hear what the video is saying? Can you hear?
Yes, yes.
To encourage
right now,
people, they don't usually tell people the entire
process.
Yes, I can hear. They rather say, okay, there are 1,001 schools that we can send applications to on your behalf, but they don't show you how you can do it on your own. And for someone like me who has worked, who has gone through the process, I'm here to show you how you can do it by yourself without paying agents a lot of money, and making sure that you don't only learn the strategies, but if possible, you can equip other people and show other people the way. So thank you everyone for coming. And the course is the Scholarship Guaranteed Bootcamp. And I say that in this course, I will teach you the exact strategies that God is not something that can help you in this journey. So doubts may come in money. How much are you going to be spending? There is a difference between what people tell you and what is actually the truth. What have people told you? I mean, have they told you that is like the GRE or GMAT to a graduate level student? So someone at the who wants to apply for an undergraduate degree would
I'm going to the second module.
All the time, depending on the requirements. Applicant from across the world. What differentiates you or what makes you better than the other person is your application story. Your application story is what makes you better than the other person. Someone may want to study medicine because you heard that when your mother gave birth to you, or your mom probably gave birth to you through cesarean section, or maybe there was even no cesarean section when you were given birth to, and then another application.
Let me go to this.
So a personal motivation for crafting an application story. So is there anybody else who would like to give his or her thoughts?
Someone that is actually experienced someone that is actually experienced on those diseases.
The essence of the interaction is for people to actually ask questions. So maybe you have something going on in your mind. Some people have asked those questions and then they are interacting here. There's a particular one I would like to share with everyone about.
A scholar is interested in community health.
The letter of introduction part.
This module, we're demonstrating how to go to schools' websites, how to identify the different requirements, and how to go ahead and connect with individuals based on their portfolios or their names. How then do you also list out those who...
All right.
Just make sure that you identify the key areas they're interested in, identify the key individuals working within those areas, from the departmental chair, you can then be redirected to connect with undergraduate chair, undergraduate director or the graduate director. Are we good? So when you want to connect, this is where you come. You see the name. If you click on the name, usually it takes you to their personal website. If I do this right now, it takes me to the personal website of the departmental chair. It makes sense to at least have an idea of who this person you're trying to write is. Into the second, why are you copying and pasting yourself, trying to connect with schools? So this is the first paragraph, right? You're saying it is a privilege to write.
I think somebody asked about letter of introduction. This is
heading.
In this section, we're talking about letter of introduction. I think someone asked about that. Hey, who's saying that? Just got the message that we lost my media director's son. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh no. I'm so slow. Oh, thank you, Ma. I'm so sorry about this bad news. Please mute yourself. Or who is giving us that sound? And people are watching video. You people are giving us sound.
Because if you let's say we want to copy this email, right? Is that you won't see on the website at the university.
Something else I want to show.
What you do is demonstrate that even though.
Okay, let's go here.
You know that you are interested in or what you have been given, or perhaps I just come. That is simply write academic papers for the undergraduate and graduate and PhD programs in their departments, or you're interested with the list of schools in the hack book.
So I keep talking about the hack book. Where is the hack book? Okay, I'm going to share the hack book screen very quickly. And when I'm done with that, I expect that everybody who joined this session will follow me on Instagram so that I can share with you a link once I get back from my fellowship. I'm going to share a link via my DM to those who want to see what the hack book looks like. But meanwhile, let me take you to where you can see, the hack book. Actually, let me show you what it looks like. I think normally when somebody comes and pays for the hack book, this is how they would move. So you buy the hack book. This is my demo link. So if I buy this book, for instance, you check out, you put your name, your email address like this, you continue. This is a demo. Now you get a screen like this, at the end. Now this is the book. It is read online. So you click here and then you get access to the book. And this is it. I am going to increase the screen so you can see this better. I don't want to be late for my fellowship today. So this is what the book looks like. So, and it is it's so easy to connect with. The question about application story, crafting the paragraphs you need to work with, everything is in here. I can assure you, everything is in here. So I am done with today's session and I'm so happy that you made it. These are sample essays to work with. I think in the last section, you'll find information about how to actually navigate the school website. These are screenshots. I mean, nobody will say, I don't even understand what to do. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now. I just want to take comments from 2 people who are willing to, put on their camera, like show your face. Let's have feedback. If you feel that you're willing to show us your real face and share feedback before we, I'm going to Oh, I want to stop. What's going on? Hold on. Someone is not hearing me. Did you guys see this part? Uh-oh. Okay. Is there anyone who has any, like, who wants to share feedback? You know, what have you learned? How has this meeting impacted you? I'd like for 1 or 2 people to show their real face and share their feedback. So let's see your real face and let's have your feedback. Madam Sheon, are you willing, or who is willing to share feedback? Let's see the real face, so because it's a video.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
Hi. We have 2 people in the house. So after Madam Sheon, then we have Madam Melody. So let's do this. Are you on natural hair too?
I'm at work.
Are you on natural hair too? Oh, yay. Okay. At work, night
So I'm at work,
right?
and I'm currently on call. Yes. So I'm waiting to see if patients will come or not.
Okay.
So I can say, like, I have a direction after today's chat or video. Although I didn't hear most parts, and I hope you really put up the replay so that
I do that. I mean, you can ask Madam Esther, Madam Melody. These are like, they are our lifetime partners. So we always put the replay. Okay. So just make sure that when I drop the link in your DM, the only thing you need to do, click the link and watch. I mean, it will cost so much. Definitely, I will send you.
I will. I've always been on Twitter. I've seen so many tweets, DIY this, DIY that, and it's getting overwhelming considering the kind of job I do and all the rest. But now I have someone I can relate to, that can kind of direct me. So I'm happy. Thank you so much.
And this is not just a DIY thing, because see, studying abroad process is crazy. It takes a lot of faith. It is confusing because you are not seeing people. You are just relating with people via email. So this is not DIY, like you get the book and then you're your own. No, people don't get results like that, at least from the people that I've worked with in the past. So I feel that creating a support group to support people on a yearly basis is more effective. So anyone who buys a book, for instance, the idea of the book is to reduce the talking that I'm going to have to do. But you are in the support group so that you can achieve your goal in 6 months to a year. And I know that it is a difficult journey, and thank God for the support group. I wish that, as I'm a student right now in the US, I wish there was something like that in my school, where if I feel confused, there's a support group. Aside from the general mental health group or the counseling section, they don't have a support group that I can say, okay, there's something bothering me, and then I'll just leave a chat on the group. I mean, we need more of groups like that, because life is so hard and things are so confusing. Even when you think, yes, you are so excited, there are days you just wake up frustrated. There are days you wake up tired. And it's not like the schools are not replying you. It is just you that you are just frustrated for no reason. So, we need more of networks where we can rub minds together, and then we know that when I'm crying, I'm tired, there's a shoulder to lean on. So that's basically the idea behind the support group. And I feel that the emotional support that we need in the journey is much more important than whatever it is that we're paying for. Can we actually put can we put a price tag on emotional support? No. I mean, but we come from a culture where everybody says, see, you got this, we got nothing. No, we really need that support system. And so let's break those jinx, and it starts from us opening up. And how can we open up when there's no support group? Again, that's why I created one. I mean, we cannot come and die. So, Madam Melody, let's have your feedback. Thank you, Madam Sheon, for your feedback. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome. Long hair. Which one are you wearing? Is it braid or what?
It's braid, so.
Okay. I cannot do braid now. The braid has spoiled my natural hair, so I want to do something else.
So I'm so excited to be here. Like I at some point I was almost giving up, but tonight has really that refueled everything. Like I'm so positive about tonight's session. Tonight's session is so loaded. It's very loaded, and I've received so much clarity from tonight's session. And I'm so glad. Thank you so much, ma'am.
What did you learn? What did you learn specifically? Don't make me have goosebumps without direction. I want my goosebumps to have reason.
Okay, so I'm able to understand the difference between what a tuition waiver is and what the difference between a tuition waiver and scholarship. And I'm able to understand how that for the tuition waiver, you mentioned something like fellowship and assistantship. This is the first time I'm hearing. I'm hearing
because of you. Let me wear my sunshade. You are cool. That's
so I had to jot them down. Okay. I had to jot down. I had to write something.
That makes sense. Please watch the replay too. Watch the replay because faith cometh by hearing and hearing and hearing the word of God. Thank you so much. Yes, is there any other place? There is no man that wants to talk, Abi. It's an inclusive session. No man in the house feels like saying anything. Mr. Jonathan, tell us. So we need to see your face anyway. We need to see the fine face, at least for tonight.
I'm on singlet.
It does not matter. Why did you join with singlets? See me doing makeup, doing my gele, everything because of the meeting. You should join. You should let us see your face, I beg. Whether you do virtual background, though, we don't care. But again, it's okay. Just feel free to do your thing. If you don't want us to see your face, I mean, we will respect your privacy. There's one thing you will learn in this country. Privacy is God bless you, Jerry, African man. Take 5.
All right. So
okay, what do you have to say?
You've been a blessing. So grateful that that you're bringing this up. I have wanted to know some more about the process. And what you have done tonight has really opened me up to getting to know more, and then also for my passion. So more clarity I've got, and I'm really just so grateful. You've been a blessing, truly. Thank you so much. God bless you.
My network. I'm so excited for you, and please don't leave me. I don't need you to buy a book right now or an online course right now, but they say faith cometh by hearing. Be around our circle, right? Be around me. That's the only way out, because I know that when we go to sleep, when we face life, we can forget the excitement. We can get carried away. But the way to stay on course is to be around those you want to be like. There are people that I'm looking up to and I'm saying that, okay, girl, I want to start making $10,000. The money that they are paying me is just one amazing 1,500. But I want to make more than I'm actually earning. But I cannot do that without working with some people, right? So I need to move close to the people I want to be like. Just like they say, if you want to be like Jesus, read the word of God. Spend time with the Holy Spirit. I mean, how can you be like God without spending time with him? There are people who are looking like Pastor Chris Oyakhilome because they spend time reading his words, listening to him. There are people looking like Pastor Samade, Pastor Adeboye of the Redeemed Christian Church of God because they spend time listening to him. If we can spend time listening to people who are humans, how much more when we spend time listening to God? We will be so blown. Our life not going to remain the same. But I'm just saying that spend time around the people you want to be like. Gravitate towards them. Don't leave them. Hold on to the hem of their garments and you will be forever saved, though. And that's just it. And by the time you do this, imagine the 1,001 people who, because of you, will want to follow the same step. I can't possibly reach everybody in the world, but if I'm connecting with you, there are people who will be connected to you, and there are people who will be connected to those people. And before we know it, at least we're bringing the change that we all want to see. If it it takes us doing this small, then we're on course. Thank you for your feedback. I appreciate you. Thank you everyone for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you, Ma.
I do have a restful evening.
Thank you so much.
I have to go for fellowship right now, but I will definitely send the link later tonight or early hours of tomorrow morning. God bless you. Have a restful evening. Don't sleep on it, though. Don't sleep on a bicycle. Bye.